my honor to introduce the Mayor of the City of Los Angeles, Honorable Mayor Garcetti.
Thank you, Chief Choi, and very good morning. Let me start with the families that are here. Thank you for blessing us with your presence. Thank you for the courage of waking up and coming here today. You know, you hold pain and trauma that is unimaginable, but know that you don't hold it alone. For 21 years, I've come to honor as an elected official our fallen officers, knowing that that is a baton, a black baton I hold and that I will hand off one day soon. But even just as an Angelino, I want to speak privately as a citizen that there are 4 million people who we all couldn't contain here, but whose hearts, whose souls are with you today, reflected by our other elected officials, our community members, and those who have helped us build memory so that it isn't something that is forgotten. I want to also thank Paul Kaporian, another council member who's here, who wasn't mentioned, but a longtime supporter of the department. I'm wearing the original badge of this police department, one which our officers a couple years ago at the anniversary of this department were authorized to purchase and to wear. This original badge takes us back to how long we have seen officers run it into the bravest situations to not only save and transform the lives of those they protect, but often at the risk of their lives changed forever. 238 LAPD officers since 1907. And I want to thank every officer who is with us, who bears a badge that you inherited from another officer, one day you will give to another one. Our civilian employees as well, who every single day make sure that public safety isn't an abstract idea, but a brave incarnation every single day. In the Old Testament, the Jewish people used to come in one of the most important pilgrimages each year to the temple in Jerusalem. And everybody would come waiting in a long line for their moment to come inside the sanctuary, which was opened up for that day, and to take a walk counterclockwise inside the temple and exit. And there was tradition in the Jewish faith that those who had faced the greatest tragedy in the past year would have to come in and walk the opposite direction, clockwise. I remember asking my rabbi why this was, and she said, the folks who hold the most pain oftentimes want to disappear and hold that pain by themselves. I think every brother and sister and mother and father, every husband and wife, every child that is here today, every former partner and fellow officer who holds that pain knows what I'm talking about with that feeling. That we go down into a black place and we just want to be left alone. But this tradition in the Jewish faith forced people to see and to be seen. For those of us who had gone on with our life not facing that tragedy, to look at the face of what that tragedy is, and for those who are walking through the tragedy to feel less alone. That's what today is all about. I'm sure some of you didn't want to wake up and come here. I know it feels painful for all of us some years to think about holding that sort of pain in our hearts and our words and trying to search to say what can never heal, that is missing inside your heart. Our LAPD officers are the heart and soul of this city, truly angels in this city of angels. We don't just celebrate today marking this, but a week and a month. Police Memorial Month, people across Los Angeles and across this nation, and I want to thank our brother and sister agencies that are here. It means so much to have the sheriffs and the FBI and the DEA and everybody here because we know that we walk this path not alone, but together. And in the past years, we've changed it so that it doesn't just have to be this day or this week or this month, but you can see the markers of where our fallen angels departed this earth to move on to heaven. We see the names on the signs that are spread across Los Angeles, marking where those officers fell or patrolled. We encourage you to go online and learn the stories of those who are not here to say them today. In my watch as mayor, I've seen too many officers lost. It started, of course, with the Lee family. Nick Lee, an officer that I knew when I was a council member in Hollywood. A family, can't believe the way his children have grown up, and the family has continued to find the strength and summon the strength. And then Chris Cortijo, Roberto Sanchez, taken from us way too early, a cathedral filled with the pain of this department. And Esmeralda Ramirez and Juan Diaz, whose family come to know and love. Detention Officer Erica McAdoo, Valentin Martinez, Bercueto, and Terry Martinez, Philip Sudario, Patricia Guillen, Jose Luis Anzora, Ray White, something that broke all of our hearts, being there to later arrest Fernando Arroyos. These aren't just names. These aren't just stories. These are the angels in our city of angels, and the brothers and sisters and the sons and daughters, the husbands and wives of those of you that are here today. And so I want to wrap the collective arms of 4 million people around you, our arms of love, to say that we love you. We see you today in this temple, and you don't walk alone. God bless our fallen. Thank you.
Now I'm honored to introduce to you the Board of Police Commissioners President, Mr. William Briggs.
Good morning. Good morning, Mayor Garcetti, council members, my fellow commissioners, Mr. City Attorney, our law enforcement partners, department personnel, and most importantly, our distinguished guests, the families and friends of our fallen officers. Thank you all for joining us this morning. I want to start by offering my condolences to the family and friends for the loss of your loved ones. No matter how many years go by, it doesn't get easier. It just gets different. Moving on from such a sudden and profound loss is easier said than done. I admire your strength, your fortitude for being here this morning, and I thank you for joining us. Today, we gather to commemorate the sacrifices and celebrate the lives of the fallen officers of the Los Angeles Police Department. It is important that we remember our fallen and keep our commitment that they will never be forgotten. The call to become a police officer is unique. We all know the day-to-day of being an officer is difficult. But what we don't acknowledge enough is the willingness to take on this role, knowing that one day you may not come home. We don't talk about how an officer prepares for this, how they prepare their families, or what it's like to hear a call on the radio and not know if it's that call. We don't talk about the role of notifying family members and the support that's provided to them and their colleagues when we lose an officer. I want to acknowledge and thank the employee relations units of the department and the staff throughout our department who provide such support and guidance and help put this on today. There's a lot to be said for what our fallen leave behind. Family, friends, colleagues, and the promise of what might have been. There is never a way to justify the loss of an officer. Whether it be the loss due to circumstances at a call, an illness contracted in the line of duty, a senseless tragedy that occurs while off duty, the loss of life, and all things that could have or should have been leaves a hole that can never be filled. These are challenging times to be an officer. At times it feels though there is more opposition than support. We should celebrate the heroism of all our officers. We should not make light of their ultimate sacrifice. This is why it is important to continue to remember all our fallen and keep their memories and heroism alive. It is important that we tell their stories, the beginning, the middle, and the end. It's important we share with each other not only the profound loss, but the ways that our lives have been changed by them. There's one thing that is certain for our fallen officers within the LAPD. They will always be remembered. That is our vow to them. Our fallen remind us of what is good and right in our city. The mayor mentioned angels. Rest assured, they are our angels, and they are with us today. And it is my belief that through our time together and our celebration of their lives, we can restore some hope within our city and with each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Now it's my privilege to introduce you our Chief of Police, Chief Michael Moore.
Good morning. It's got a little bit of an echo with it, so please forgive me. I want to thank Eric Garcetti, our city attorney, Council President Mary Martinez, Chair of our Public Safety, Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez, other members of our city council, our fellow law enforcement partners, members of our community that are here, Commissioner President Briggs, Commissioner Vice President Decker, Commissioner Bonner, Mr. Tiefenk, Mr. Inspector General Mark Smith. Your presence here today demonstrates your appreciation for the significance of this ceremony, its purpose, and the profound impact these individuals who died in the line of duty continue to have on each family member, friend, and colleague. As was said earlier, I want to echo the thanks and appreciation to the Los Angeles Police Foundation and all the other contributors that made today possible. To the Employee Assistance Unit, to Chief Choi's staff, to Chief Randolph's staff, to the men and women that organized this event. It has been 3 years since we stood here. The terrible toll of the pandemic, its impact on all of our safety, the very way of life, has interrupted every aspect, including events such as this, which are so critical to not just the family and friends, those are huge, but also to the rest of us as an organization, that we honor the sacrifice, that we demonstrate our commitment to never forget. To those family members that are here today, thank you for making this journey. As the mayor indicated, cannot imagine the grief, the day in, day out reminder of their absence, of your officer, of our officer. Thank you for attending. These circumstances of today, this ceremony is bittersweet. Because while it demonstrates our commitment to keep each individual's legacy alive and their individual sacrifices known, it also renews and amplifies, I am sure, yet again, their loss in your life and those that are around you. Today we're gathered in this beautiful courtyard of our headquarters. To my right is our wall of honor, displaying the badge of each of our fallen. To my left and behind you around that corner is our recently refurbished memorial wall. As was stated earlier, this memorial wall was established first with the construction of this headquarter building, a facility more than a decade ago. It was through the generous participation of then President of the Police Foundation, Jim Wyatt, and Robert Day, who raised more than $1 million for its construction. The foundation, the Los Angeles Police Foundation, and the people of the city is who funded that wall. Unfortunately, over the years, it fell in disrepair. The perils of the outdoor elements of Los Angeles, which is a bit unique to think about, except for the front row right here. You're getting the perils of sunlight. But over the years, we saw it begin to deteriorate, and then efforts to repair it fell short of what was needed and what would be the honorable presentation of our 238 fallen. Through the generous contribution, the donation of my guest today, Flo Speck, the widow of retired Assistant Chief Dale Speck, the department was able to completely restore the memorial and utilize a design that will withstand the elements, I am confident, for the next decade and beyond, as well as ensuring its ongoing maintenance. A process that's a bit of a challenge in city facilities, so let me assure you that it's well thought out. Additionally, we had the opportunity in its redesign, disassemble and replace each of the tribute plates. And the designer incorporated a laser-etched image of each fallen hero onto that tribute plate. I would encourage each of you here today to visit the memorial and see what's been accomplished, as we remain committed to ensure we honor the sacrifice of each individual, as well as the sacrifice to those that they left behind. Well, again, I cannot thank you enough on behalf of the men and women, past and present and future, for your generous contribution for this donation. Please, if you rise. For those in attendance today, after today's ceremony, I welcome you also to our room of honor. It was a room that pays tribute to Dale Speck and his service to the city, to what he meant to us as a leader and as a member of this organization more than 30 years ago, a lasting tribute. But also importantly, through your generosity as well as that of the foundation, it is now a fitting tribute to the heroes amongst us, because it is also, we have revamped and redesigned our Medal of Valor display, as well as our Preservation of Life awards and our Purple Hearts. And also along the walls are the ability to look up all the other service medals that we have and individuals that have been honored. So again, I welcome you to take an opportunity to stick your head in there. It's about 90% done, but it is 900% better than what preceded it. And I also want to thank the Board of Police Commissioners for allowing us, this was previously your green room, for us to capitalize on its location. We assure you we'll have the CompStat room and others always available as well. Today we honor 238 souls who gave their last full measure, who died in the line of duty. Included in that are some 15 from the distant past who lost their life during the 1918 pandemic, and 7 lives lost in line of duty due to the current pandemic. Line of duty, it's a phrase that's often referenced. What does it mean? What is duty? Well, Webster defines duty as an obligatory task, conduct, service, or a function that arises from one's position. I would define duty as the essence of what our people come to work each day to accomplish. Service, protection, sacrifice, and devotion. Every day we ask the men and women of this department and in our profession to do a myriad of tasks as they go about their work in the line of duty. We ask them to stand in the way of a bullet, to track down those who would prey on others, to peacefully resolve disputes between warring couples, and ensure in each instance that we have the wisdom and luck to achieve success when the circumstances before us are often the result of various failures in our society to meet the needs of our communities. These demands and the public's expectations for what President Biden has termed as the toughest job in America. Those we honor here today for doing their duty at all times of the day and night across all neighborhoods of this great city. Preceding their loss, each one of them had dreams and aspirations. They had family, siblings, friends. who the day after their death, lives were forever changed and will forever be changed. On the granite walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial are chiseled the names of more than 20,000 peace officers who have died in the line of duty. Along with the names of those honored fallen are the words of a Roman senator and historian, "In valor there is hope." For more than a century, we've looked at our police officers to be our guardians and protectors. And in this great experiment we call America, we look to the police to starve off evil, help the victim and survivor alike. In their valor, displayed in times and circumstances of uncertainty, danger, and chaos, we have seen hope. Hope in their selfless actions and sacrifice to protect others from evil, no matter the cost. I am grateful for their devotion. The sacrifice, their sacrifice, will not be in vain, and we'll never forget them or what they stood for. But let us live each day as they did, in the service of others, bringing honor to their devotion, sacrifice, and their very memory. It's been said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." A comfort I take great resolve or great confidence in each day, that the work of policing matters. May God bless America, the City of Angels, and the Los Angeles Police Department. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Moore. All right, to my left here, you see a memorial wreath. The shape of the wreath, the circle, symbolizes our never-ending unity and our commitment to the 238 Los Angeles police officers who made the ultimate sacrifice. We also pay tribute to their families who endured such a significant loss. We ask that you also look at the 27 red roses in this wreath. And what those roses symbolize are the 27 officers' names that were added to the memorial wall since our last memorial ceremony back in 2019. At this time, please take a moment to watch and reflect our video tribute to our fallen officers, and then it will be followed by a watch broadcast.
Attention all units. This is an interwatch broadcast memorializing 238 Los Angeles police officers killed in the line of duty from 1886 to the present. Today, the men and women of the Los Angeles Police Department formally recognize those officers who have made the ultimate sacrifice. This year, the 2022 memorial ceremony pays tribute to 27 police officers who were killed in the line of duty. 15 officers are recognized from passing away during the Spanish influenza in 1918 to 1919, some more recent as a result of complications from COVID-19, and others from tragic and unjustified incidents. Let us reflect and pay homage to Sergeant Charles Kearney and the Watch, July of 1886. Patrolman John Clifford and the Watch, October 14, 1918. Patrolman Samuel Walker and the Watch, October 23, 1918. Sergeant Albert Wedge and the Watch, October 23, 1918. Patrolman Pete Isaacson and the Watch, October 24, 1918. Patrolman Joseph Matlock, who passed away on October 26, 1918. Patrolman Kerry Smith and the Watch, November 2nd, 1918. Patrolman Charles Stone and the Watch, November 7th, 1918. Patrolman George Nelson and the Watch, November 15th, 1918. Patrolman Lester Troublecock and the Watch, November 20th, 1918. Patrolman David Tolles who passed away on November 23rd, 1918. Patrolman Harry Byers in the watch of December 9th, 1918. Patrolman Isaac Jabot in the watch December 16th, 1918. Patrolman Blair Cook in the watch January 5th, 1919. Patrolman Harry Gates in the watch January 12th, 1919. Patrolman Walter Cherry in the watch March 19th, 1919. Police Officer Esmeralda Ramirez, who passed away on June 9th, 2019. Police Officer Juan Diaz in the watch July 27th, 2019. Police Officer Valentin Val Martinez in the watch July 24th, 2020. Sergeant Fred Cueto in the watch December 6th, 2020. Sergeant Amelia Terry Martinez in the watch January 13th, 2021. Police Officer Philip Sudario in the watch January 25th, 2021. Sergeant Patricia Guillen, who passed away on January 28th, 2021. Police Officer Jose Enzor in the watch March 3rd, 2021. Sergeant Anthony White in the watch April 15th, 2021. Police Officer Becky Strong in the watch August 2nd, 2021. And Police Officer Fernando Arroyos, who passed away on January 10th, 2022. It is with the highest tradition of this department that all of our fallen officers be memorialized today, May 4th, 2022, at the Los Angeles Police Department's memorial ceremony. May all of our officers rest in peace. May their individual sacrifices stand forever as a silent testimony to the department's motto, to protect and to serve. Today, we renew our commitment to our fallen brothers and sisters, their families, partners, and the community they so proudly served. We will never forget.
As we reflect on how each of the 238 fallen officers gave their lives while serving our community, we are reminded of their personal commitment and sacrifice that was required in the protection and service of others. We pause to remember our fallen officers who have demonstrated courage and valor while performing their police duties, and their deaths are not in vain, and their legacies will remain in our hearts forever.